This is live on KEXP at home. I'm joined by the phenomenal Arlo Parks.
Hello.
How are you doing, Arlo?
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling excited to be here with you guys today.
Yeah, man, we're excited. We're excited for this performance. We're gonna have a conversation afterwards, so stay tuned. Anything you want to say about this first song?
I mean, I just want to say that this is like the first time that I've played a session for anyone in a very long time. So I hope that I hope that you like it. And I hope I can make it to Seattle sometime soon as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see you here. Arlo
Amazing.
Parks, live on KEXP at home.
Boop, boop.
Dragonflies in my paperbacks all night. Cider with the guys, having sex in the sky. I think I hate you, but I don't know why. everybody, my name is Arlo Parks. I am a 20-year-old artist and poet from West London, and it is a pleasure to be here playing a few songs for you guys today. Thank you so much to KEXP for making this possible. It's an honor and I feel great. The next song I'm going to play is a song called Cola. It's the first song that I ever put out, and I hope you enjoy it. Your phone and no surprises. She's grinning from ear to ear in purple lips. So take your orchids elsewhere, elsewhere. I loved you to death, but now I don't really. You're running around over there. Yeah, you're running around over there. And now I don't really care. 'Cause you're running around over there. And now I don't really care. 'Cause you're running around over there. T-shirt in the rain, the one that makes you look like Jared Way, eating grapes in the back of the party, throwing hands 'cause she drank your Bacardi. I know it's kinda dumb, but I miss the way you dressed all punk, with the black and the studs and the ripped up gloves. Bet she loved your tough guy front. So take your orchids elsewhere, elsewhere. I love you to death, but now I don't really care. 'Cause you're running around over there. Yeah, you're running around over there. And now I don't really care. 'Cause you're running around over there. And now I don't really care. 'Cause you're running around over there. judging our lives. cigarette between your purple lips. We've been best buds since 13. I hold your hair back when you're too late. I hold the Taco Bell and you cry over Eugene. He was me. He was me. But hey, I know I've been a little bit off and that's my mistake. I kinda fell half in love and you're to blame. I guess I just forgot that we've been made since day. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Hey, I know I've been a little bit off and that's my mistake. I kinda fell half in love and you're to blame. I guess I just forgot that we've been made since day. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Seeing you with him burns, I feel it deep in my throat. You put your hands in his shirt, you play him records I show. You read him Sylvia Plath. I thought that that was our thing. You know I like you like that. I hate that sound of a. We've been best buds since 13. But that don't change the things I feel. Oh, when I see you smile with your teeth at Eugene. Yeah, I can't deal. But hey, I know I've been a little bit off and that's my mistake. I kinda fell half in love and you're to blame. I guess I just forgot that we've been made since day. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Hey, I know I've been a little bit off and that's my mistake. I kinda fell half in love and you're to blame. I guess I just forgot that we've been made since day. Yeah, I don't know what to say. So the next song I'm going to play is a song called Black Dog. It's written from the perspective of me, and I was taking care of somebody who was going through a difficult time, and it's about their pain and how you can feel quite helpless in the pain of a loved one. But this was a reminder that you're not alone, and although these are difficult times, we'll get through it. And when all is safe and well, I can't wait to come through to Seattle to play for you guys and hopefully see a few of you guys at a show. I'd lick the grief right off your lips. that that song moved you in some way. I've been trying really hard to find the joy in little things over this lockdown, and I actually wrote most of my first album during lockdown. And this is a song called Caroline from that record, Collapsed in Sunbeams. And I hope you enjoy it. This is the first time we've played it together.
For the bus one day, watched a fight between an artsy couple escalate. Strawberry cheeks flushed with defeated rage. Then he spilled his coffee as he frantically explained. Maybe if you took a breath, you would hear me when I talk to you through her necklace in his face. Eyes so bright with disappointment. I saw something inside her break. Everybody knows the feeling. Suddenly he started screaming. Swear to God I tried.
wouldn't it be lovely to feel something for once? Yeah, wouldn't it be lovely to feel worth something, huh? I know you can't let go of anything at the moment. Just know it won't hurt so. Won't hurt so much forever. Won't hurt so much. Won't hurt so much forever. Won't hurt so much. Charlie started seeing stars, so stuck on the new J. Paul. Said my clothes are sticking to me and I can't quite see my walls. Started dreaming of a house with red carnations by the windows, where he didn't feel so small, so overwhelmed by all his flaws. I know you can't let go of anything at the moment. Just know it won't hurt so. Won't hurt so much forever. Won't hurt so much. Won't hurt so much forever. Won't hurt so much. I know you can't let go of anything at the moment. Just know it won't hurt so. Won't hurt so much forever. Won't hurt so much. Won't hurt so much forever. Won't hurt so much. Won't hurt so much. I know you can't let go of anything at the moment. Just know it won't hurt so. Won't hurt so much forever. Won't hurt so much. Won't hurt so much forever. Won't hurt so much. Won't hurt so much. Thank you, KEXP. It's been an absolute pleasure. The last song I'm going to play is called Sophie, but I'm Arlo Parks, and I hope you guys have a lovely day. I talk to girls that sing about asphyxiation until their beard goes flat. I talk to girls that bring their switchblades to the function and dye their buzz cuts black. Shut your mouth and take your vitamin. Bite your nails and sell your Ritalin. I feel like the world is on my back. Shut your mouth and take your vitamin. Bite your nails and sell your Ritalin. I feel like the world is on its back. I'm just a kid, I suffocate and slip. I hate the little sick. I'm just a kid, I suffocate and slip. I hate the little sick. I'm blowing bubbles in the faces of thugs. I'm smoking licorice tobacco for lunch. Yeah, I'm still denying that I'm anxious as fuck, and I'm lacking in trust, and I think my art sucks. I look inside my head with disgust. I would say it to my mates, but they're probably drunk, so I listen to funk. I bend to the punch, then pretend that I'm fine, and really. Shut your mouth and take your vitamin. Bite your nails and sell your Ritalin. I feel like the world is on my back. Shut your mouth and take your vitamin. Bite your nails and sell your Ritalin. I feel like the world is on its back. I'm just a kid, I suffocate and slip. I hate the little sick. I'm just a kid, I suffocate and slip. I
Arlo Parks.
Hello.
Such a beautiful performance. Welcome to KEXP virtually.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor, and thanks for letting me play a few songs for you guys as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You were just talking about recording that performance and where you were and how it felt. Like how was that performance for you?
Yeah, I think for me it just felt really kind of warm and energizing to be playing with people who are like very close friends of mine and who have been with me kind of from the beginning of this journey. And it was so grounding just to be able to jam in this space. Like we were in this studio that felt very much like almost being in someone's living room. And I just felt so comfortable. And, it was the first time I'd ever played Caroline live
Wow.
for any
Yeah.
kind of session. So I was a bit nervous, but I'm glad that you liked it.
Oh yeah, you killed it for sure. For sure. Man, I'm so excited to meet you, first of all. Big fan of your music, and my listeners are as well. You get
Amazing.
requested a lot. Um, the songwriting I wanted to ask about because you 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 always go so tender, so vulnerable. You know what I
Mm,
mean, and into the heart space, and it creates
mm.
work that I think is healing for a lot of people. What are some of your influences in your songwriting process?
Yeah, I mean, I think, my inspirations are quite broad. Everyone from, I mean, that first Frank Ocean record was a big one for me because it came out when I was quite young. But I pull from, everywhere from Portishead to Solange to Elliott Smith to Nina Simone. Like my dad, like brought me up on a lot of jazz music, on a lot of soul, Minnie Riperton, Al Green. I love to kind of almost create this collage of all the different genres that I love and kind of cherry pick elements that move me and try and create something unique. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I hate to point to your age, but I know at 20 years old, is
Yes.
that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The artists that you just mentioned, they're old school for me. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
I'm wondering like what was it that drew you to artists like Nina Simone, artists from generations ago, you know?
I think for me, because I grew up with the internet and I grew up with things like YouTube, it was very easy for me to kind of stumble upon whether it was, these kind of lost tapes and old recordings of them playing live. And my uncle gave me his record collection when I was quite young. And it was everything from like Grandmaster Flash to Sade to like LL Cool J. And there was that sense of like, I realized that there was so much richness in music from the past. And I think that's what drove me to kind of try and explore more and find ones that I connected to.
That's amazing. I read in an interview that you started quite young when you were, was it 10?
Yeah, yeah. So I was writing short stories since I was about
Mm,
7 or 8, and
wow.
then that kind of evolved into poetry, into spoken word, and I was making beats when I was about kind of 13, 14, and playing guitar. I think it's always been something within me. Like my parents aren't creatives like by profession, so I would just lock myself in my bedroom and just start writing stories and writing poetry, and I always had that inner drive. I think a lot of the best art comes from necessity. You can't help but write about something. Um,
Absolutely.
hmm.
Yeah, was your parents supportive of your musical journey growing up?
Yeah, I mean, I think, there was that thing of like, do your music as long as you get the good grades. I think like for me, the focus, I mean, I always like studied pretty hard at school and they could see how happy it made me as well. When I would show them a demo or like when I was playing those first shows at like these dingy venues, like that, a friend's older brother like would play at and would like somehow get me into, they would come to a few of those and they could see how energized and how happy like just the act of performing and of sharing made me. And as a parent, that is quite a beautiful thing to see because when I was on stage I almost blossomed. When I was younger I was quite shy, and on stage it was almost like I lit up. So I think they always knew that it was my path in some way.
That's beautiful. I have to ask this because unfortunately I never got to spend any time in London. I was supposed to go there in 2009 and London Heathrow
Mm.
happened and they said no, you can't go in. So
Mm.
there's a lot I don't know about what the scene is like out there. what was it like for you coming up as a musician? And I'm asking this specifically like for your younger years because growing up here in Seattle, um, there was never venues for us when we were
Mm,
underneath drinking age. So I don't know what it's like in
mm.
London.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, I didn't really go to loads and loads of gigs when I was growing up. I think I went to my first proper gig, like at a venue when I was about 15 or so. But there was definitely like I think the culture from like my circle at least was the fact that there was, lots of DIY nights going on. So, all the kids would put on nights, whether it was like ciphers or people would be DJing, people would be freestyling, and that was definitely a big thing. But, similarly to you, I didn't go to that many gigs when I was younger. Like there wasn't necessarily that space when I was growing up.
Yeah, yeah. Did you participate? Because you mentioned poetry a little bit. Did you participate in things like open mics and stuff like that?
I was too shy, I think, at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
There is something quite scary about, especially with poetry, going up there with your little notebook and reading something that you've kind of really mined from your inner, sensitivities and vulnerabilities, and kind of reading that in front of an audience can be quite nerve-wracking. I think I'd still be nervous now to do it. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's funny because your songs are so vulnerable. It's funny for me to imagine you being nervous from reading something, you know? Wow. What was it then that got you into like, finally performing and like making that push, your journey?
Mm. I think for me, it was that kind of desire to connect with people on a human level. And from the few shows that I'd been to, I kind of realized the fact that live performance was really a method of like, opening your heart on stage and connecting to so many kindred spirits, as it were. And in terms of just sharing my music, online, I kind of discovered this idea that if a piece of art that you create has the ability to help somebody, whether it's out of a dark time, whether it's helping them feel seen or understood, it's kind of your duty to put it out into the world and to share it. And that's something that I've kind of lived by ever since.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I know your song Black Dog is especially
Mm,
touching. Just dealing with, loving someone who's going through mental health issues,
mm,
not fully loving themselves. And I know that it's the reception to it has been massive. Like
mm.
what how has that song in particular like changed your journey and what's been surprising?
I think for me, especially putting out that song in such a chaotic and confusing time, in like the collective sense of like the world, everybody was going through this sense of turmoil. I think that the response that I got to that song was really, it was quite humbling. I kind of realized that I was doing something that was almost beyond my personal catharsis. Like people were telling me that it had helped open a conversation that saved their marriage, or that it helped them understand their sense of depression better, or their parents. And, the fact that I was having that tangible, positive effect on people in countries I'd never even been to, that really kind of made me feel like I was doing something. So I felt really kind of full of purpose. And, I wrote that song when I was 18, and I
Okay.
recorded it in an Airbnb in central London. And like in like under an hour, it was such like an
Mhm.
emotional outpouring, so immediate. But the fact that its
Mhm.
effect has kind of rippled throughout the world feels amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. In writing these songs, I almost like hesitate to ask about all these stories because they seem so personal, but I
Mm,
do wonder if is is listening to your body of work that's been released thus far,
mhm.
it seems like you're breaking down so many different personal relationships. Has the process of releasing these songs changed some of those relationships?
Mm. I think definitely the process of writing and of sharing music always kind of helps me process the situations that I'm talking about, and can also, I mean, for example, in Black Dog, my best friend, the person who I'm singing about, that song I think almost brought us closer together, which is an interesting thing because at that time it was this time of difficulty and of lowness, and she felt so isolated. But having this song out in the world and seeing how far we've grown brought us closer together because we were like, okay, we are strong together and we've made it out of this difficult period. But I think the act of writing about something also kind of allows you to slow down and really think about it and break it up into sections rather than having it revolving in your mind, constantly. So I definitely think so, and that's why I write music, because it
Yeah,
helps me work through things. Mm.
that's beautiful. It's felt, I call it healing in public, And when you're healing
Mm.
yourself, it helps other people as well.
That's beautiful. I really like that. That's a lovely
Yeah.
phrase.
Yeah, that's shout out to my friend Mark Gonzalez for coining that term, healing in public. Um, so the album's coming soon. I think by
Mm.
the time most of the people see this interview, it'll be out. But
Mm.
we haven't heard it yet. So
Mm.
what do we have in store with Collapsing Sunbeams?
Yeah, I mean, this album was written mostly during lockdown, mostly written towards the beginning of the period, so around March. And again, I pulled from a lot of different places sonically. I was listening to a lot of Blood Orange, listening to a lot of DJ Shadow, listening to a lot of Massive Attack. But every single song on the album kind of has its own little world. I pulled from the idea of nostalgia a lot. A lot of it is about working through traumas and examining those moments of like intense joy that you have when you're a teenager. And yeah, I mean, I really hope that you guys like it. It's quite nerve wracking, to talk about it because for so long it's
Yeah,
just been this little Dropbox file on my phone, and now it's kind of out in the world, but it feels
yeah.
incredible. Mm.
So excited. I know that you've become something of a mental health like advocate.
Mm.
Can you talk about some of that work? I know there's a organization that you're linked with.
Yeah. So, I mean, during lockdown, I became an ambassador for this campaign called Calm, which is the campaign against living miserably, and it's kind of providing free support in the form of a helpline and then a web chat for people who are kind of going through mental health crises. And that mission really aligns with what I want to do with my music. That idea of wanting to show empathy and take care of people. And I always told myself that if I got a level of platform, I would use it to kind of spread awareness and open conversations and let people know that they're not alone. And most of the work that we've been doing has been, online just because of the situation that we're in. But I really love to one day do some kind of workshop kind of showing how art can be a form of healing and can ground you during difficult times. I think that would be really great. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to go to that workshop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Speaking of the future, like I usually don't ask people this question, but I just feel like I have to ask it because you're at this age. Like where does
Mm.
Arlo Parks, where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years from now?
Wow. That's a big question. I
I
mean,
know.
yeah, I really want to. I mean, I want to have got a few albums under my belt. I want to have also kind of delved into other areas of art. I'd love to write a novel. I'd love to publish a poetry collection. I'd love to go into acting as well, directing. I think I just have so many different avenues that I want to go down. But I hope that at that point, I'm able to make art as my career every day, as my livelihood. That's kind of my one goal. And I hope that I've been to the States as well. I've never
Yeah.
been to Seattle. I've never been to New York, all
Oh,
of
so
these
we're in
places.
we're in similar places. I haven't seen where you are. You
Yeah.
haven't seen where I am.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Exactly. Hopefully in the next 5 years we'll do a little swapsy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I believe you can do all that and more. Just
Thank
keep
you.
just claim it now and it'll come to pass. I
Yeah.
believe that.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
absolutely. Um Man, thank you. Thank you so much for your time. I'm trying to think of what else to ask. I'm just excited to meet you and excited about the album coming soon, you know?
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure to chat.
Yeah. Arlo Parks live on KEXP at home. Thank you so much.
Woo!
Thank you to Arlo Parks for that wonderful performance and a conversation with us. And thank you to everyone who's viewing for your support, making programs like this possible. Appreciate y'all so much. It's live on KEXP. Peace.
I love how I was doing like sound effects in the background, just like boom.
I love it. That's great. If you ever want a job at KEXP, like you can
just the
host
sound
the
effects
show with
one
me
is
anytime. I need that. That's what I need. That's awesome.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.